When I sit and reflect on my life, I'm overwhelmed with so many different emotions, um, so many experiences and relationships, mistakes and accomplishments, memories, lessons, laughter, and everything in between. Every experience, every decision, and every step that I've taken has led me to be the woman that I am today. Any past experience that may have been done wrong, as some would say, or was a mistake, I can now view as a learning experience and apply them and know that they allowed me to grow as a person. There's so many different experiences that I could speak on today about what experiences were significant to me or mattered to me, meant the most to me, but the two that I'm going to speak on are going to be when I was a senior in high school as well as when I moved off to college. So my senior year of high school was during COVID-19, and when the whole world was shutting down. And it's something that I will never forget. It was a period of uncertainty and fear, sadness, sickness, loneliness, and it was being experienced throughout the entire world. I was having a very hard time with it. My anxiety had gotten really bad. My depression had gotten really bad. I was just feeling very lonely, and this is like the first time I think I really saw the importance of, just relationships and cherishing your time with others. I was eager to graduate with my best friends that I had grown up with and done life with. But due to the pandemic, we could not graduate. We lost a lot of our senior festivities and things that we looked forward to. And so I was having a very hard time with it, as one would imagine. But one of my life events that I'm going to talk about happened within this time period. And specifically, it was when my mom and a lot of the other parents threw the class of 2020 and like our kind of group of friends a senior prom. So during this time, many of the moms were able to see how challenging this was for their children, their friends, and the entire class. So they took on the responsibility of surprising us by throwing us our own prom, all so that we would not feel like we were missing out on our senior year. They didn't want us to feel like it wasn't that we weren't seen, or this wasn't a big accomplishment, or like this was just getting brushed under the rug. So they took it upon themselves to do this for us and to make us feel seen and remind us that this is a big deal. Parents among the entire 2020 class were donating money, volunteering to help with anything that they needed to. And a group of the moms rented a venue in Bremen and hired a caterer, a DJ. They bought decorations, a photographer, did everything that they needed to throw this for us. And it took months of planning and communication and lots of hard work. And seeing how much my mom specifically and a lot of the others put into throwing this event meant so much to me. I was having a really hard time with this situation, and I was honestly starting to convince myself that it wasn't a big deal, and it's, just another graduation. It's going to come and go. It's what everyone does. And that's exactly what they were trying to avoid us from feeling. So them providing this experience for my friends and I gave me so much joy and happiness, and I was just so thankful. And, just being that happy and feeling that joyful was not a very common emotion for me during this time. So it was like a really refreshing, happy feeling to feel that again. I, and as well as a lot of my friends, this was when we started to feel noticed, and like prom was just as important to our parents and everyone else that was being affected by this as it was to us. So seeing all of this come together and being able to experience it was a memory I'm never gonna forget. I made memories that just I'll never forget how important it was to me, and seeing the how far that all the parents would go in making sure that this would happen for us. Um, it was much more than a DIY prom to me. It was a time to come together with our friends and put the worries and the unknown of the world aside and just be present with each other. COVID reminded me that humans are not meant to go through life alone, and isolation and loneliness is not healthy. Um, and social interaction and relationships are far more important than one may seem. This event has completely changed my perception of the opportunities that are present within every experience. It's made me be way more intentional going forward, especially when I'm at events or gatherings or even just a lunch or a dinner with my friends or family. It teaches me to resist scrolling or getting on my phone and just being present in the moment and strengthening those bonds and relationships and making more new memories together, laughing, crying together, love, anything that you can do together. This entire stage of life was definitely one of the most challenging, but it taught me that I would much rather be present and enjoy those moments and make the memories with people than to one day reflect back and not have any memories made, or forget about a memory because I was too caught up looking at a social media post or something like that. So this is one of the life experiences that I really did feel like I mattered the most, and people saw me and my friends and how we were feeling and showed me how others doing just an act for you, it doesn't even have to be this big, but how much it can influence someone. And then the second life event that was definitely one of the most significant life-changing events that I'm going to talk about was when I moved off to college. Change is something that I've never really welcomed. I've always definitely struggled with it. And if I was honest with myself during this time, I did not think I was actually going to move away. Anytime people asked me how I was feeling, if I was excited, I just kind of responded with what I thought was the right answer. But in the back of my mind, I was like, man, I'm telling these people I'm moving away. I'm not going to move the day of. Like, I really didn't think I was going to. I spent my first 3 years of college at Georgia College and State University in Milledgeville, and so this was the first time that I had ever moved away or lived on my own. So I was really fearful. I've really struggled with anxiety my entire life, and even like separation anxiety, so this was going to be something very new for me. And when I reflect on this moment, though, it was the best thing that I could have ever done for myself. Before moving away, I lived my life day to day with lots of worry and anxiety. And due to this, I would miss out on a lot of experiences and events, or just small daily tasks I would not accomplish on my own. So moving out and being on my own kind of pushed me to get to this point where I had to be more independent and learn how to navigate those anxieties and fears and be able to still, function and go about life. But moving out really helped me gain confidence and strength and not worry and focus so much on the what ifs. I grew so much during this phase of life, and I gained so much more responsibility, independence, and confidence, and became very self-sufficient. Specifically, during moving away and my whole college experience, the the day that I felt the most like I mattered was move-in day and my freshman year roommates. I'll never forget the day that I moved in. At what point I felt like I was in the right place and doing exactly what I should be doing. It was right before my parents were about to leave, and all my roommates and I were finished moving in, settling in our rooms. And I did not know two of these girls. One of them went to my high school with me, but two of them did not. So that was also kind of hard for me to navigate, because if I don't know people, I tend to be very shy. So this was a totally new experience for me. But we would just got done finishing setting up our rooms, and one of my roommate's parents that I did not know, that one of the girls I didn't know, her parents asked if we could all come together and they could pray over me and my roommates during this whole new transition and experience and phase of life. So these are my roommates, and whenever her parents asked if they could pray over us, and I saw how we hadn't even known each other yet, and our families didn't know each other yet, but we all came together before the Lord and asked him to watch over us and help us navigate and provide us with any clarity and peace and love and strength that we may need, and to keep us safe. Seeing all of us be able to come together in such a vulnerable place, I knew in that moment that I was where I needed to be and I was making the right decision. It's very vulnerable for someone to ask, especially people that they don't even know, to kind of pray over them and their children. And seeing how my family and everyone else's, my roommates' families, opened that and welcomed that with open arms and just appreciated it and was so intentional about being present in that moment, made me feel, knowing that they were praying over us and for our safety and happiness and navigation through this new thing, gave me a feeling that I don't think I've ever felt before until then. And so these girls shaped me into, our relationships and their families shaped me in a way that I have never been the same since then, and I am so thankful. But that is definitely one of the most significant moments in my life, and it led me to be more open and independent and vulnerable, and allowed me to just experience college. And it was a good reminder that my life and my plan is in the Lord's hands, and He has it all laid out for me. So it just reminded me that I don't need to be so anxious and worried, and I have a great support system and Lord that is going to make sure everything goes the way it needs to go. So both of these experiences have shaped me into the woman that I am today, a soon-to-be graduate, yay, but more than that, a woman who values and sees the importance of relationships and having one another and being there for one another, and a woman who is persistent and trusting in the Lord and His promises and His the path that He has laid out for me, especially trusting Him during those times of change and unknown. So these experiences have taught me so many lessons, and really I wouldn't be who I am without them. My perception would be different, my mindset would be different. I'm sure I would be struggling with, feeling anxious or depressed far more often. So these experiences truly have changed me for the better, and I am approaching this new phase of life that I'm about to enter as we come up on graduation with open arms and an open mind, and I'm going to take these lessons that I have learned from both of these experiences and apply them to the next. So, thank you.